ladies, gentlemen, and everything in between, hello, welcome to the channel. As you know, or if you're new here, then you don't know, I guess. But over here we do a lot of cultural reactions and we focus on cultures from around the world. And a big part of that is Eurovision. And I discovered that Cyprus has become one of my favorite countries to have the best entries in all of Eurovision. Literally talking from 1956, when the first Eurovision occurred, to last year's entry, 2022. They are consistently good at Eurovision. And so, what else was I going to do other than stan? I have decided to stan Cyprus. And along with standing a country in Eurovision, you have to know the language, you have to know the culture, what food to eat, what cities to visit, what things to do, what not to do, the history of the country. And that's why today we are checking out Why Cyprus is Divided, a documentary of Cyprus's history. So, subscribe if you're new here. Let me know what other countries and histories and content like that you want me to do on the channel, because I'm down to do it all. You know, we're just about entertaining, but also learning and educating and, you know, figuring things out around the world that if we just stay in our comfortable boxes, we otherwise would not be able to learn or know. So, yes, let's get into it. Subscribe if you're new here, like the video, and being ignorant is not always a bad thing. Let's get it.
Countries and being split into two. Name a more iconic duo. And whilst Germany...
Not the shade at the UK and Ireland! Ooh! No, but he's actually true. There's a lot of countries who do this. South Korea, North Korea, the United States and Mexico, the United States and Canada. It's literally a bridge that divides the US from Canada. Like, you can literally drive across it. And now, England, Ireland, but you know, they got beef. And Cyprus. Let's find out about Cyprus. Why do we do that, though? Like, we live on one world. Who decided that this area is for you, this area is for you? Christopher Columbus. Ain't shit.
A more iconic duo. And whilst Germany, Ireland and Korea are the most often discussed, another country with such a divide is Cyprus, which since the 1970s has been divided into two parts, or three if you count those that still belong to Britain. In the south...
Oh my god, I am living for the colonialism, imperialism shade at freaking England. Because, babe, I love my English babies. I love London. I love to visit London. But at the end of the day, a lot of the conflicts in the world, let's call a spade, is because of England.
South sits the Republic of Cyprus, recognised by everyone, and in the north lies the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, which is recognised only by Turkey. And this state of affairs raises an obvious question. What caused this to happen? Why is Cyprus divided? So, before Cyprus was split, it was a British colony which they had acquired from the Ottomans in 1878. And many of those living there were Greek Cypriots, most of whom wished to unify with Greece in a process known as a gnosis. However...
But look how far of a distance they are. Just to get resources from over here all the way over here, you'd have to, like... The only way would be by water, by ship. What's countries over here? Wouldn't it make more sense for Cyprus to be, like, in unity with whatever's right here? Instead of way over here.
Wish to unify with Greece in a process known as a gnosis.
That's like us owning Hawaii and us owning Alaska. We do, but at the end of the day, like, kind of makes no sense.
Unify with Greece in a process known as a gnosis. However, that's not how empire works, and the British opted to ignore them because Cyprus's position was far too valuable to them. Many decades later, like most British colonies in the wake of the Second World War, Cyprus and its people pushed for independence. In the mid-1950s, Greek Cypriots began an armed campaign which wanted to end British rule there and unify the island with Greece.
Wait, they killed the... who?
Began an armed...
I mean, I'm all for wanting your independence. Hello, I'm an American. We fought the British and won. But damn, what? They killed people?
Many decades later, like most British colonies in the wake of the Second World War, Cyprus and its people pushed for independence. In the mid-1950s, Greek Cypriots began an armed campaign which wanted to end British rule there and unify the island with Greece. Of course, the British were happy to accept these demands, and just kidding, they teamed up with the Turkish Cypriots to fight back and in the end settled on giving Cyprus its independence. And Britain preferred an independent Cyprus that wasn't a part of Greece, since it wanted military bases there as a forward base for the Middle East. Cyprus, as a small new nation, could be coerced into agreeing to this in return for the end of British rule, whereas Greece was a much larger established country that would be able to resist. After the British had left the island, well, mostly, tensions rose between the Greek and Turkish population there. One of the conditions of Cypriot independence was that the Turkish minorities' rights would be respected.
Wait, what are the rules? Be excellent to each other, government job for Turkish Cypriots, no joining other countries. Huh. This is a big conflict that you really do see a lot in the world. Whenever there's two different racial groups or the identities of people trying to fight. You see it in Palestine versus Israel. You see it in I don't know, the southern United States and Mexico. There's always the conflict in a lot of the African countries, which we're not even going to get into because that's a deep, deep dive into, again, imperialism and how they divided up the countries without any regard to tribal, religion, anything like that. The Native Americans, oh, God.
Minorities' rights would be respected. And also, it was agreed that no one would push for a union with either Greece or Turkey, nor try to partition the island. And Greece, Turkey and Britain all agreed to uphold this status.
Again, why is Britain go? You have nothing to do with this. It's literally the Cyprian people and the Turkey people. That's literally it. Y'all are way over here. Mind your business. They're literally way across the map. Why are they involved?
Despite the agreement, many Greek Cypriots, including President Makarios, felt that the Turkish were overrepresented and so wanted that changed. Shockingly, the Turkish Cypriots didn't want this, and so, a decade of impasse. In 1974, feeling that Makarios wasn't doing enough, a group of Enosis-backing Cypriots aided by the dictatorship in Greece launched a coup. Makarios fled and Nikos Samson was placed in charge and made it clear that he was going to unify Cyprus with Greece. And now the Turkish government was concerned for the welfare of Turkish Cypriots.
Yeah, so they agreed that they weren't going to have one side own more than the other, the Turkish versus the Greek, but now they're trying to fight for the power of it again. Like, I thought it was decided everybody has, like, equal hold on the country, and now they're trying to, like, take more from one side, and that's what's going to cause the conflict.
Unify Cyprus with Greece. And now the Turkish government was concerned for the welfare of Turkish Cypriots, who were subject to growing violence, and so asked Britain to help them intervene. And the British said no. And for this, they had two reasons. The first was that they were too busy being poor. And
Damn! They were too busy being poor. Yeah, there was a big time in history when England was like, they were the top dogs. If they wanted something, they can get it like that. If they did get it like that. From jewels to spices to people. If they wanted it, they took it. But I guess those times are long gone. The big powerhouse of the world, I would say, is the United States. No bias at all. I just think about it. Yeah, I feel like let me know your opinions. I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me, but I'm not asking based on if you like America. I'm just saying in reality, who is the big dog of the world? The United States!
The second was that those in government, above all else, wanted to keep their military bases. And thus, by not picking a side, it was hoped that they could leverage the fact that they didn't oppose the eventual winners to keep their territory on Cyprus.
No, don't fall for that. You didn't help us when we needed you, so F you. But you didn't help us when we didn't need you either. That's the Greek and the Turkey people. So Britain's only looking out for themselves.
As a result, Turkey opted to proceed alone. Turkish troops landed here and they very quickly and easily pushed Greek Cypriot forces back across the island. This was condemned by the United States, who didn't want two NATO members going to war and breaking the alliance. But
okay. So they're both a part of NATO, that's true. It's like arguing in your own alliance, that's true.
Generally, most countries were sympathetic to the Turkish. All of this embarrassed the military government in Greece, and fears over all-out war led to the collapse of the regime there. Whilst the Greeks were busy becoming a democracy again, the Turkish opted to push even further across Cyprus. At this point, the rest of the world turned against Turkey, since this was now seen as little more than territorial expansion. As such, the Turkish, British and Greek governments met to end hostilities, and a ceasefire was agreed. The Turkish military stayed in the lands that it had taken, and the United Nations would construct a demilitarized zone running across the island.
Okay. I like that. How we're all coming together now to keep peace, even though Turkey already kind of took a lot of land from everybody, but I don't know, it's like the Republic of Ireland versus Northern Ireland. Two people on one unity of land trying to like decide who owns the majority of it.
And it was hoped that with the Greek-backed coup over and the violence diminishing, Turkey would leave, but fun fact, no. Instead, the Turkish created the Turkish Cypriot administration, which would run the territory the Turkish had captured. And in the wake of the creation of this administration, many Greek Cypriots were forced out of their homes and cleared from the north. And in the south, many Turkish Cypriots were also made unwelcome and forced to head north.
So these are people who don't really care about all this drama that's going on. And yes, I call it drama. Sorry, you're on an American 23-year-old's page, of course. But yeah, they have nothing to do with the war. That's sad. It's kind of racist. You have to leave your home because you're not like the other people here. That's messed up.
And in 1983, the Turkish Cypriot government there made a unilateral declaration of independence, which was condemned by everybody except for Turkey, Pakistan and Bangladesh. And the last...
No comment. I'm going to keep my comments to myself there. So it's sounding like we support the Greek side, not the Turkey side.
Turkey, Pakistan and Bangladesh. And the last two were soon pressured into withdrawing their support, leaving only Turkey supporting the North. But irrespective of international support, the island still remains divided to this day. I hope you enjoyed
and
this.
Why is England still there? Oh my gosh. But yeah, it sounds like in the beginning, the Greek people were the aggressor, and then it turned into the Turkish people becoming the aggressor, and they gained a lot of power to the point where you can't even, like, change it anymore. Like, they have their own country extension now, that area in all of Cyprus, the northern area. But the biggest takeaway I have is how sad it is for the people who were living on the opposite side of their culture and forced to leave just because they didn't, like, match the other people. Like, that's so sad. But if you want me to check out other content like this or historical content, comment some countries and let me know. Bye.